Hey guys, it's Dave from the Dad Advice channel. If this is your first time watching, thank you. We're going to chat about controlling the supply chain for business. If this is your first time, this community was created to help each other learn and grow, as well as teach our children through our knowledge and experience. So, controlling the supply chain, why it's important. I'm going to start with a story about John D Rockefeller, the famous oil tycoon from the Industrial Revolution, and he got famous from being one of the most wealthiest men in the world, sometimes one of the most despised men. But he did something in his business as it grew. He purchased all of the smaller companies, probably for monopolization purposes, probably to just easily grow. And as he grew, he ended up producing and delivering 90% of the oil in America. And most people will talk about this being a monopoly. I want to put a slightly different spin on experiences that I've been having, and chat about my business and maybe how it can help you. A different spin is by not necessarily eliminating your competition. Competition is prevalent. You're always going to have to deal with it. But by taking things underneath your control, so by purchasing other companies or bringing things in-house, you don't have to worry about other people failing as much because it is not a third party. And the supply chain doesn't have to do with just supplies. It's services. It's a bunch of different things together. By taking control, you can eliminate a lot of waste. In my real estate business, and why this has become kind of a thing that I want to chat about right now, is we've been having issues with property management companies, as they are. I thought third party would be the way to go. So we could spread to different locations and we could always just have third-party property management and deal with a local expert. What I ended up finding was that there was so much waste in quality control and cost. And if I really want the business to thrive and grow and have a standard of quality, like John D. Rockefeller's oil company, Standard Oil, I have to take control of the supply chain. So we've been bringing all of our property management in-house and realized that the third-party company, their repair times were way, way high. So how long it took them to get out and do the repair for the client, the customer, which is our tenant. And the costs were way higher from the contractors because they just didn't care as much about, they just cared about getting it done, not necessarily how much things cost. It's just like, hey, did I get the result? In their quality, a lot of times quality would be an issue with the contractor that they chose. And obviously that's just less caring from a third party. You're not going to get as much caring as with something that's in-house that you have more control over. But it also, when you don't have control of your supply chain, you can have a single point of failure. So if their business fails for whatever reason, they go bankrupt, they just don't have staffing, they can't handle the calls, it affects your business and it becomes directly reflective of your business and looks bad on you. So taking control of your supply chain is huge, just for those aspects of quality, cost, and accountability and ownership and single point of failure aspects. The other thing is, if you're looking at, which you always should be, of what's best for your customer or client, because they're going to be what helps you grow, You just want to do what's best for your client. I think it's easy as that, or best for your customer. And if taking stuff in house and taking control of the supply chain is what's best, then you need to do that. This doesn't mean that we never want to work with third parties. So I still think that there is a place for third parties in your business. I think that you definitely only want to work with A players or people that are at the top of their game, and you would only want to ever replace people if you yourself or your business can do a better job. If you can't do a better job, there's no reason to replace that person, because the end game, which is treat your customer as best as you can treat them, wouldn't be met. So that is a huge consideration. Even with working with A players in your business, you always want to still consider replacing them in the future to in-house, if you can do the same job as they can, just because it gives you more control. You don't have to worry about somebody else failing in some aspect that you don't see coming. You'll see it coming if it's in-house. You always just want to have options. So those are I guess the main like action items there is look for options. Only work with A players if you're working with third parties, and consider replacing them if you can do a better job. Those are your action items. A good resource here is a book called Top Grading. Talks about interview tactics. I don't know the author of it offhand. And yeah, so I'll see you next time on another episode. If you have any comments about this, definitely please share. Put them down in the comments box. I'm always looking to learn, just like everyone. And if you think this is helpful, definitely share it and like it and subscribe to the channel. Love you guys. I'll see you next time.